So I was asked to try and replicate, I guess, a bug that when I first started out with the Unreal Engine, some of this environmental stuff was given out for free. And the odd part was I could never get this one to work. Every time this little white guy here would just fall right through the map. And I went through the forums and everything else, and I don't know. It's just really bizarre, right? And now this is 4.2, 4.3. It's like 15 versions later, right? And the neat thing about this, see how his foot is in the snow, right? It's kind of, but yeah, you can see another environment, right? I could not get this to work before. Trippy. And you can, if I stop, you can see the grass, you know. There's some desert biomes there. This is showing off the multiple different types of biomes you can use with this pack, right? So you got deserts over here, right? As I say, I am at a bit of a loss. I had some heated words with this lad, and I apologize, in my side of things. In the same respect, when you have a person like myself who's trying to show off some of the neat things that people do, you might just not want to try and get too aggressive with me. It's not a cool thing because, number one, I have no reason then to bother with you or your stuff, you know? We even got sunlight in here. And, like I don't mean to be a prick to the guy and vice versa, but at the same point, you've got to realize I'm not being paid to do all this shit, you know? For every 1,000 views, we get $3 or $4 from YouTube, so it's not like, anyone's getting rich. Um, and yeah, so we got different things over here. I think there's like, see a thing like this, you know what I might do? This is the kind of thing where I'd build a castle out here, you know, and then have, different things going on with walls and different stuff, right? It's kind of a neat looking map, you know. What's this over here? I think this is like a wasteland, rocky kind of a thing here. Let's slow down. It's not laggy at all either. I don't know what the quality settings I had it set at. This is at 720p, I think about 30 frames a second. I could increase that, I think. Like, I don't know how big this place is, but anyway. There's like mountains all over here. Right, so you got some rocky terrain, right? Grasslands over here. Like it looks fairly big. So I don't know. Honest to God, when I loaded this up, he just fell through the map. I did a few things. I looked in the forums. Forums said to do a couple of things. I looked and they were already set. And then I went to YouTube, tried a few things there, looked and read up a few other tutorials on collision and other stuff. And that's how I learned about, the player start thing, right? To move that around and maybe, that was a problem. Nope. And none of it worked, and I just said, okay, the heck with it. There's no sense having it take up my hard drive space, and then I just moved on. And I made a comment. What was it? The next one that came out, it worked fine, and it had like a camera zoom, and I put some music to it, and it was really nice looking. And then I got mucking around with spawning and stuff, and I was doing some experiments with putting guys in that one, doing spawning and stuff, right? And that one seemed to work. So I don't know. If there was an update from 4.22 to until now, then that would be the reason. Or something got fixed in the Unreal Engine that I didn't realize was a bug, and it's sorted. Because there's the proof right there. I'm standing in your map. Okay? And so, peace out, you know? Like, I don't know. I can't. I left him a message and said basically if it's 4.22, what I'll do is I'll load that back in tomorrow, and then I'll try bringing the thing over, and if it then falls through, then I know that's the problem, you know, and then we know what it is. Okay, we can go, or at least he can have an idea better, right? Like, I just wonder how many people got put off of that because basically, I just show off some of this stuff and I'm thinking, well, maybe this would be something I might be able to use in my little, thing, right? Have a couple of guys standing here, looking off into the, you know, whatever. It'd be kind of a Lord of the Rings moment when they're running around or something, right? What's all this? Is this like is this water or what is this? It's like a meadow. Oh yeah. Nice little flowers and everything else in here. So anyway, the next chore is going to take up my machine probably for the better part of, hours and hours and hours as I compile that other big level. I'm going to have to, I don't even know if I want to build the lighting properly in that yet because I should do some extra things on that. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait a minute. What was that I just jumped on? Oh, here's something that's weird. What's this? It's like the edge of a map. Oh, yeah. Does this sort of... Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I'm seeing. This. See that there? There's one there. There's a... See how he's... I'm trying to go to the left and I can't. You can look right underneath there. Like, look at that. All your stuff is too high. It's like, it's over top of something. Like, you see this? Like, look. I'll do it this way. There we go. So a slight little error that we found in here. That's nothing too big, right? Because the whole point is that you start off over in those mountains over there. And as far as using this for some cinematics or something like that, it's perfectly fine, It's got enough of the biomes there that you could do, have a little mini battle off in the distance, put a castle on it, blah, blah, blah. But that one little spot, that's just an example of something I found I wouldn't have known about before. Now, the question is, if the character starts right at the seam of something like that and came down, right? It's possible that an older version you might have just slipped right through the map. And that's kind of like one of those things where you see guys in games doing the hacking where they go under the map kind of shit. In a sense, you could do that with that little section over there. Is basically you would, if you could shrink yourself a little, you could go under the map. Which, but anyway, go up the top here. Whoa. All the way to the top of the mountain. But yeah, like this is the kind of stuff that I was impressed with when I first saw it. Like I could see the images, but not get into this. Like that's really cool. Like imagine having different castles in the background, right? So it's like you're in a kingdom. You see how I can just suddenly start envisioning things? This is part of how my brain works, right? I see different things and I have different ideas. And I come up with them and I go, okay. And I look over here. Now, I'm not the greatest guy at making meshes. I'm not the greatest guy at animating. But I got the ideas when that stuff is made available to be able to put it into places, into scenes, to make it look neat. Okay? Mind you, I'm capable of doing all that stuff. It just takes me a lot longer, and I'm sitting there looking at references back and forth, doing all that shit. So if somebody saves me a shit ton of time like Epic does, well, then yeah, woo-hoo, right? More for everybody, you know? And then it doesn't cost bajillions of money, you know? So, anyway, it is kind of neat, isn't it? It's just the kind of thing you just want to sit here and go, well, isn't that a nice sunset? You know? Yep, yep. It's a fair size map. Yep. Which is cool. And it is quite well done. I mean, you know, he kind of does his little hop over things. Boop boop. And this was the multi-biome one. Now, it could be that I used the other map that was in here, and I just fell through the map. But I don't remember ever getting any of these to work, right? Now, mind you, the Arctic one, you can actually see me having it work because I have a video on that. I made a little music thing out of it and kind of pathed it around, and you know, I just basically I didn't bring a third person character into it right away. I just had the blank start, brought that in, and then I just recorded the camera as I moved, right? And had some music then, and then I spliced over top of it, right? Like you can even see the plants moving down there with the wind. Very well done, you see? That's the kind of thing that, you know, this is what you get for free, you know, from Epic. Because they're being nice to everybody where they go, let's save somebody some time and effort and get somebody like myself with the ideas rolling, right? Then it's less I have to worry about, you know. I like learning this kind of stuff. I like learning things. Don't get me wrong. But if you're going to save me time and effort, I'm not going to waste my time either, right? That's something else about me is I don't like wasting my time, right? Whoa, that's a cliff. Yepper. See? And you can actually run over there. Wah, wah. Yeah. We got red mountains over there. So you have the evil bad guys over there, right? You have put the dwarves over there, or short people, kind of mountain people over there, right? Put the humans over here, somewhere over on this side, and battling them. Yeah. You see? All of a sudden, yep. Anyway. Yay. Okay, I'm going to try the other map and see how that works now. I'll put this video up so you actually know that, you know, I was running around in your stuff. And that, yes, I actually know what I'm doing. Okay? You know, it's contrary to popular belief that, you know, I'm not, you know, stupid and trying to figure stuff out, you know? Like, and everybody else is listening. I'm actually talking to someone else who I said I would be putting a video up for, right? I'm trying to show them that, you know, something has been fixed then. Because when this guy came in, he would drop down from the sky even. He wasn't like on the mountain here. He dropped right down from the sky and just kept going right through the bloody map. And no matter where I moved him, he would just keep falling through the map. So there was something that's been changed. Either there's been an update to this project, which has sorted that, or a bug in the engine has been corrected. Because Even the last Arctic one that they gave out, it worked. So, I don't know. Mind you, the tutorial a guy gave me on spawning things, there was a fix he did in his blueprints, and when I applied the fix, it actually caused the problem that he was actually trying to solve. That was hilarious. I had to, I spent 9 hours going through his video going, oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, and that was one of the better done tutorials because I could stop the video and see where all his little lines in the blueprint was, and he was kind of explaining why he was doing the various things in the blueprint, which then you learn, right? What this does when you do this and why you're doing it. Okay, that's not a bad thing to do, to give the people that knowledge, right? Because then they might come up with some neat ideas and they might share them back. Hint, hint, nod, nod. Okay, so we'll put this up and oh, even the clouds move. Yeah, I remember that. That's cool. Okay, and I'll try the other map, and then I'm on to compiling the first-person shooter thing.